Hello there, fellow grognards. It's Al here, Grumpy Grognard Gaming. You know that, you've clicked on the link. Anyway, super quick video, working with some longer form stuff, but for now, we're just going to look at this. And it's more Heresy stuff. So they put the new download out for the Talons of the Emperor, and this isn't about that, even though they did make a screw up on that as well. That an incorrect version of the Emperor's Talons of the Emperor document went live briefly without the anathema special rule. Yeah, okay. Anyway, this isn't about that. Not this time round. Maybe next time. But this one is about the ERRATA and FAQ that they've put out. Because I saw this and I was a little bit sort of surprised, let's say. There is an ERRATA for the 3rd edition. You've got your FAQ first of all. Fair enough, FAQs are FAQs. It's just, sometimes it's people not reading the bloody obvious in the rules. Sometimes the rules are badly written so they need some interpretation. It is what it is. We've also got a bunch of ERRATA. Some of this will obviously be due to, again, maybe not quite clear rules, even though in my opinion the rules are needless word salad because of the way people interpret them. Anyway, moving on. There's a bunch of ERRATA. The book's not even out yet. There's a bunch of ERRATA. So the book that you have needs ERRATAing. This is not good enough, GW. You are charging a premium for these products. I do not expect there to be this level of actual mistakes. These aren't just grammar mistakes, which, you know, that happens when you rely on spell checker and stuff like that. These are actual mistakes in the rulebook that you've let go to print, and that's just point blank not good enough. But to be fair, that is the case for most things. At least they have addressed it. It's like before the product comes out. It's just, you know, for those people that have bought Saturnine, even those ones that have bought it from Wayne or something and get it on Sunday or whatever, yeah, that rule book, it's got problems. What a fucking surprise. But this isn't about the ERRATA in the core special rules or in the book. This is about the ERRATA in the Liber Astartes book, particularly Tartaros Terminator options. Isn't that interesting? It's an ERRATA. So they're saying it was wrong. See? They've modified the Tartaros Terminator option. They've also modified the assault squads and the Gorgon Terminators. But that's really odd because they released a PDF that they said was fixing everything, and that the Tartaros Terminator options were left out deliberately because there's a Tartaros Siege squad coming. Seems a bit sneaky, that. So why would you have this PDF that specifically addresses the Tartaros Terminator, and they said it in there, and they didn't say there that it was a mistake and it would be errated back into the book? No, they said that they'd heard people talking and that the PDF was there and it had always been there. They didn't say they'd added to it, though it's quite obvious, and that was there. They did not say it was a mistake. They were like, it was always this way all along, and here's your missing Tartaros options. You're going to get Legion options and all that kind of stuff. And this half-baked PDF list of things where some Legions had Legion armory options coming back and some didn't. Screw you if you're a Blood Angel. Very, very interesting. Because they're now turning around and saying that it wasn't all planned and it wasn't all in the PDF. It's actually an ERRATA. It's a mistake. Put the stuff back in. Which is it, GW? I do feel that GW have problems with transparency, and this isn't going to help that. GW, you have underestimated who you were fucking with. Horus Heresy players are not of the same ilk as Warhammer 40,000 players. And I think GW have maybe slowly started to realise that to their cost, because Saturnine has not sold well, as was evidenced by my video that showed Wayland got it down by 35% at the moment, and somebody else has joined them. I will tell you that in a minute, because if Wayland sell out, you can go to these other guys a much smaller company that I mentioned, who, you know, have decided to maybe cut their losses. They're only making about 10% now on the box because they've had to reduce it because it's just not selling. They need to get the stock gone. They need that capital to be able to buy more stock. I will have a long video at length, but I kind of want to get Matt in on it about exactly why Saturnine has failed, because it has failed. Hopefully it won't lead to a complete failure of Horus Heresy 3rd edition as a whole, because the last thing I want to see is the Heresy fail. I like the fact that we have the Horus Heresy, but I think it does need addressing, and I think GW have made a big mistake here. So you've got your ERRATA, that's great, you know. Good to know that your books that you're picking up just aren't right, because GW just can't do their fucking job right. As I say, these aren't little grammatical errors. These are, you know, they have completely screwed up the book. Again. How? They are charging 40 odd quid for these books and they are wrong before they're released. It's not good enough. I'm sorry, it's not good enough. They should all be free online. Every single one. And then you release hobby and law books. And then GW can update the rules online as much as you want to your heart's content. And I will not make a single complaint. I promise. I will never ever complain about you updating rules again if you put them all online. But the fact that you're selling books that are 40, 45 quid and then they're wrong before they're released, that's bullshit, GW. Sort it out. Anyway, you've got that. You've got your the Talons of the Emperor, if you want to have a look through that. And I probably will at some point. Saturnine cards. I would imagine this is just going to be a lead through to the normal release. So I would expect most of the options to be here, even if you're not necessarily going to see them all in the actual book when it comes out, because I just don't see them making all these models in plastic. And I do think that maybe the plastic will be the first. The Custodians of Talons of the Emperor will be the first all plastic, no resin kind of army list, but we'll have to wait and see on that. But yeah, I just thought that was worth mentioning. It's been errated. Tartaros, yeah, apparently it was a mistake. It wasn't intended all along. It wasn't all to be in a PDF and everybody stopped complaining. This is as close as you'll get to GW admitting they fucked up. And when we get the Tartaros box, which I'm sure will have Topafist taken out of it, we will know like 100% GW flat out lied again. GW, sort out your house. Gain some transparency. You're losing the hobbyist's trust. And when that happens, you can make all the pretty models in the world, but you're screwed. Anyway, let me know what you think. As always, guys. Oh, before I go, I did promise Alchemist Workshop have now reduced their stock. You can see they've actually gone up in stock, so they've had a cancelled pre-order. Somebody's obviously cancelled it there and gone to Wayland. Alchemist Workshop have worked out that they need to, you know, follow suit, so they're down to 30% to try and shift the stock they've got. As I said, they haven't got anywhere near as much stock as Wayland. Wayland have put it down to 35%. It's been that way for a couple of days now. They still haven't shifted all their stock. I haven't bought one. I lumped for a box of Mark II Space Marines. I'm happy with that. I don't need this Saturnine shit. And I don't need a rulebook that's immediately out of date. I have a digital copy. That'll do me just fine, thank you. So yeah. If Wayland do run out, you can grab one from Alchemist Workshop. Sorry, American chaps, you are out of luck. UK sellers are no longer allowed to sell to America. But in all honesty, I would expect somebody in America to drop their prices soon, because as you can see, and a guy, a previous commenter, I'm sorry, forgot your name. I've not replied to any of the comments on that, by the way. I'm still, it's going to sound stupid, but I'm still mourning Aussie. I'm not in the state for doing anything at the moment, but I will get back to it at some stage. But they had 320, he said, so they've managed to shift 78 copies. So that obviously shows why it's been dropped. So yeah, if Wayland run out, I'll stop waffling. Wayland run out, then grab yourself one from Alchemist Workshop, because they're top chaps, and I don't want to see them suffer from this, debacle. And as I say, I think there's multiple reasons why Saturnine has failed, not just what GW have done with the release of Third, but we'll address that in another video later. So thanks for watching. Let me know what you think, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.